Welcome back, everybody, to a Fistful of Tangoes. We've been over the tournament, the rules. You get the idea. Very quickly, we are in the losers bracket right now. We are in losers bracket round 2. We've been over the rules before. If you have questions about those, somebody in the chat will be happy to assist you, I'm sure, because our chat is so friendly. But losers bracket round number 2. This is a deciding game number 3 between Korok and S4. Game 3 is going to be 1v1 Shadow Fiend mid. We had to use heroes created via cheats because as of the time this game was played, there was no true 1v1 mid inside of Dota. So with that being said, it's going to be no items, no runes. First kill or tower wins the game. I'm pretty sure it's going to come down to first kill just because with no items and no runes, if you walk back to base, you've pretty much lost anyway. So the alternative is to just go for a kill. And if it doesn't work, well, then obviously you're dead and the game's over. So, with that being said, it did end up being Queen of Pain versus Puck. We won't bother going through the vetoes in too much detail. Each player took the Queen of Pain side of the matchup. After we saw Sing Sing the other day, just 2-0 Merlini on the Queen of Pain and Puck side of the matchup. It seemed like it could be a balanced matchup, but overall, it feels like Queen of Pain has that slight edge. Even with good phase shift dodges, Queen of Pain just has more damage potential, better rune control, and the better last hitting power. So, Puck still has a shot, but Queen of Pain with the bit of an edge there, able to take both games for herself to force this deciding game number 3. With all that being said, let's get right into it. Let's get this rodeo on the road. This is probably the lowest production quality you'll ever see on Beyond the Summit, but we do have a video recording of this game. There are no replays available. I wasn't able to live cast it when it happened, so here we go. We'll get the Gods camera control, and then we'll get, well, me casting, because Gods is a bum, and Gods won't cast. So we have no items. Ignore the items in the stash right now. God's probably saying something unimportant about those. Probably babbling to himself right now. Just imagine what that clown is saying. I don't even know. What does God say to himself anyway? Not really sure. Haven't thought about it. You can buy all the chickens you want, but you can't feed them, and it doesn't matter if you do, because that bot can't use items anyway. So, of course, first kill, first tower takes this game. It looks like we have Korok on the Radiant side and Funnick on the Dire, I want to say. Or not Funnick, S4. Korok on the Radiant. Korok of Team Liquid, of course. S4 of No Tidehunter is going to be on the Dire side. So whoever gets this first kill, or possibly first tower, but it normally comes down to first kill, is going to win. The loser goes home. There's no backup plan. You got to take this game if you want to move forward. No points taken as far as skilling yet. Surprised to see neither player just immediately going for what's it called? Necromastery. This little fleet of couriers there for Korok. It's like a bunch of balloons. That's what he's got. Yeah, he's going to take Necromastery now. I was going to say, I don't really see much of a point taking that level 1 raise. Even if your opponent... well, I guess maybe if they had a rune or something, but there are no runes. So yeah, I don't know. Either way, they both take Necromastery now. No big deal. And here come the creeps marching down the middle lane. Dun dun dun. And then they start auto-attacking. It looks like S4 had the better body block, and that really can determine the 1v1 games. If you get those first few last hits, then it becomes easier and easier to contest later on. Korok is going to boldly march towards the high ground. Neither player opting for any sort of harassment yet. Those early auto-attacks don't really do that much, but even so, just a little bit can make the difference. When it comes to last hits, only one creep secured so far. That one, the deny for S4. Nice camera control, Gods. I'm just kidding. Oh, Korok. Are you going to get some last hits here? Yeah, there you go. Equalizes things up. And I know I'm hanging on every last hit, but when there's no items and there's no runes, and in Shadow Fiend 1v1 mid, even missing just a handful of last hits can almost instantly cost you the game, because then your opponent snowballs really quickly. And now Korok is going to be forced to last hit under his own tower. It's the one benefit to pushing your wave, is they're going to have to fight under their tower for last hits. And these early last hits, as mentioned, very, very crucial and much more difficult to achieve with that really low base damage. And on top of it, it's not just Shadow Fiend's naturally low base damage. You don't get to start with that pooled regen, the Wraith Band, even the plus stats. You're naked, and it's thus even harder and harder to last hit. Korok, you can see he's got the creep wave pushing out, so that he's taking an opportunity here to start getting more aggressive versus S4. Does throw A Raze out there. And S4's got to be careful about his HP. HP is a precious resource as well as mana in this matchup, and you really don't want to be blowing too many Razes on creeps. It's okay to use 1 or 2, but there's no point in pushing the wave like there is when there's runes, where, oh, I want to push the wave and then go bottle up a rune and have full mana again. There's nothing like that in this game because there's no runes, there's no items, so you really want to make sure your mana and HP are 2 of your most precious resources. Even if you don't die and you have to go back to Fountain, that pretty much can cost you the game. So far, just using Razes here and there to last it under tower, but both players still have enough mana for a triple Raze combo, and that's the main thing to keep an eye on. You can see both players throwing out the C Raze there, the long range Raze. It's the safe one to go with. If you walk in too close and they're the first ones to strike with that short range Raze, then you pretty much have to run, and when you run, that's where they hit you with the other 2, unless you're ahead on souls. Speaking of souls, we do have a lead that's starting to increase here for S4. He's up to 11 last hits, and this is what I was talking about. Once you start getting those last hits in 1v1 Shadow Feed mid, it gets easier and easier to claim them. And Korok's going to really struggle here. He is throwing out the Razes, both players getting low. We could see someone explode. It's going to come down to a Raze and 1 or 2 auto attacks at most. S4, he just wants 1 more Raze. If he can hit that C Raze in Korok, Korok is pretty much forced back to Fountain. He's thinking about it. 10-4, 14 last hits. Only 7. Korok really slipping behind. Is going to get bailed out there a bit by the chance to miss uphill. Spending that gold. I think the Shadow Fiend used cheats to buy those items. So that's the Bloodseeker's gold. I suppose you can't use any of it, though. S4 just so used to spending that gold. Understandable. Both players drop lower and lower. Somebody's going home soon. Either to Fountain or in the tournament. I'm not sure who it's going to be. Either player could do this. I think both have enough mana for Razes. S4 just got enough. Korok's got a bit more. How much did Korok have? How much mana did he have? Was it 125? I couldn't see. 126. Yeah, it was. So he's only got the 1 Raze right now. He's going to throw it. There's your counter Raze. Oh, and the last hit. First blood. What a close finish. That was a photo finish. If that auto attack had missed by S4, I think Korok was just on the hill. Just slightly up the steps. And it had that chance to miss, I believe. But S4 gets that first blood by the skin of his teeth. You can see those few last hits made the difference in the end. So it is going to be... It's going to be... Gone player? No. It's going to be Korok, who unfortunately gets knocked down, is sent home. Team Liquid's Korok is out of the tournament. It's been a good run for him, but it will be No Tidehunters S4 who moves on. He'll face the winner of Funnick versus Sing Sing. Speaking of Funnick versus Sing Sing, that's coming up next. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We're Beyond the Summit. This is a Fistful of Tangos. More action headed your way soon. Sing Sing versus Funnick. Next map on the list.